Hey guys, welcome to another episode of El Jefe's Chop Shop. I just finished a week of night shift, so I'm going to teach myself how to TIG weld. Now, I had a quick run through with Tim the other day. He owns the TIG. He gave me probably an hour lesson of how to use it. So I'm going to give it a shot. He has set it up. So what I want to do is make a sign. So this sign here was laser cut. And when they cut it, I asked them to keep all of the parts they'd cut out. So what I want to do is I've got all of these pieces. I'm going to weld a little spacers to the back of them and then weld them all to a post. So I've got each letter. And then weld those to another post, I guess, and make the opposite of this into a sign. So I had started before I got the TIG lesson, so I did make this part with the MIG. So the plan is to paint it all and then maybe just grind the front raw, and then I can use this as a sign either out the front or in the shed somewhere. I'm not really sure yet. So now I need to make the El Jefe part, which is huge compared to the chop shop part. But what I'm going to do is make it with the TIG. Now, that episode from last week where I was trying to sand these things down, I finally actually got around to it and got these all sanded down. So these are offcuts of RHS that I had that I've cut to about 30 mil, 40 mil. They're all different lengths in here. So what I'm going to do is weld those to the back of each letter or each piece of letter like that. And then weld a bar in here and then another bar to mount everything. So it's going to be a lot of TIG welding practice because there's a lot of sections. I think it's 24 from memory. So I'll set all this up and we'll get learning. So I'm going to attempt TIGging these letters. So what I want to do is just TIG that on there. Should be pretty basic, but I have no idea what I'm doing. But I have 24 segments to give it a shot. So 48 welds. So hopefully by the end of this, I will have a bit of a better idea. Well, that was probably a solid hour and a half. Some of them are quite good, some of them are not quite good. But there's a few decent ones. I don't really know how to make them better or worse, but I'm trying. And some of them are really nice. But, yeah. Anyway, for the first session on the TIG, I think I did pretty well. So this is the one that I just welded with the video rather than the hyperlapse, which was a bit average, but getting there. So I'll leave these two for tomorrow. I'll come back out, set up again, and give it another shot. So I've come back out this morning and I have done the last few welds. So added a little bit more filler, as Aiden said. Just asked a few mates for some tips. Mate has said more filler, basically. So now it all comes down to practice, which I've done a bit of. And I've used like a third of the gas already. TIG welding, how good. I'd just like to interrupt this video to let you guys know the merch store is finally up and proper. We have all of the stuff. We have air fresheners with the K10 on it. We have lanyards, plenty. We have so many lanyards with the original El Jefe's Chop Shop logo. We have hoodies like this one. We have a few different Corolla shirts, and we have the basic t-shirt as well, in long and short sleeve. And if you're a sticker guy, there's a bunch of different options. So head over to the merch store in the description and grab yourself something cool. Let's get back to the video. So I've put the TIG away, and now I'm back onto something I'm a bit more familiar with. So what I'm going to do is square all of these up like this, and then just tack these rods that I've cut down to the letters, and then I'll have a stick with a letter on it. So I'll do that to all of these, get them all in the right spot, get them all spaced out nicely, and then I need to run a bar and have the letters coming up and off of it. This is odd. So I'll chuck you on time lapse and I'll get all this welded. Now that I have all of the letters welded together, I'm going to grind the face down so they look like that. So I'll chuck you guys on time lapse in just a second, and I'll make all of them nice and pretty like this one. But first, a little shout out to one of my mates that I haven't seen in the comments lately. Now with all the faces of all of the letters sanded down, they all match, they all look nice and even. And now I need to weld the letters in the correct spacing to a singular bar, so that when I want to mount this thing somewhere, I can pick that bar up and mount just the bar, and all the letters will be protruding out off the front of it. So I'll chuck you guys on time lapse and we'll get into it. So because I'm making this with scraps around the shed, the main piece of tube that I welded on is a little bit too short to include the apostrophe, so that's going to have to go. And if it annoys me heaps, I'll make a little tiny one later and just have a little tiny one up here. But for now, that'll do. So it's all welded together, it's all pretty solid. I don't know what else you expect from a sign, really, so that's pretty good. Where am I going to put it is the next question, and I have no idea. As you can see, it's a slightly more compact version of that sign. Obviously all the letters are the same size and the cutouts are the same. I've just made everything a little bit closer. I think, anyway. So I've decided that I'm not going to hang this episode. It's quite big and cumbersome, and I'm probably going to need a second set of hands, but I do want to paint it. So I'm going to pick it up, put some tarp down or something, lay it face down so that the side that I've sanded stays protected. And then I'm going to spray as much as I can with it upside down, and then later on this afternoon I'll flip it back over and try and spray the rest of it. So here's hoping that I don't get a whole bunch all over the front of it. Seeing how this is a TIG welding episode, Tim came around and gave me another lesson, and we aluminium welded these little brackets onto the nudge bar, so now we can put the spotlights on. Tell me it doesn't look like an undercover cop car. Whoops. Oh well. So that's my first job with aluminium. They're not great, and I absolutely lost my mind trying to do it nicely. So there'll be more practice of aluminium in the future. So I've let the paint dry on this sign for probably 3 days because I got distracted and did something else. So I'll flip it over and we'll see how much paint actually got onto the face of the sign. As expected, a little bit has leaked through to the front. That's nothing to be concerned about. I can clean that up nicely. And I also need to paint the framework on this side, which will be interesting because all the letters will be in the way. So I'll do that all off camera because it'll take a while. I'm probably going to mask it all up and clean it up. But where do you guys think I should put this thing? Because I don't really know. I thought about putting it on the other side of that wall there. Sorry about the LED flicker. Or in the mezzanine, which I'm probably not going to have room for. Do I hang it on the roof up here somewhere? Or over on that wall over there? Up on that wall? I don't know, you guys tell me. Now with the sign painted, that brings us to the end of the episode. How do you think I went with the sign and with the TIG welding? If you think I did excellent, put it in the comments. If you think I did horribly, put it in the comments. If you have any tips or tricks or advice, or you just want to tell me something random, put it in the comments. I want to hear it. So thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I picked up a new skill today. Thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you next week.